I was just leaving.
Miss Kyle came to you injured, vulnerable, looking for help.
Yeah, she needed
And
something.
all you did was hurt her. This house is supposed to be a place of safety, a sanctuary. You violated that.
I didn't mean to, it just happened.
You mean you just happened. I don't know if you've noticed, but everyone close to you eventually gets hurt. If not by your hand, then by some criminals. Something needs to change, or you will find yourself alone.
Ooh, this is interesting. Okay. I guess that's just to prepare me for another scene. Maybe I have to do that in another scene, is my guess.
You have the laptop?
And
Yep.
the glasses we need to get past the encryption.
I hope you're not keeping Ms. Kyle at arm's length because of, well, because of any lingering feelings from last year.
Okay, really, Telltale. This is really driving me up the wall. There were no lingering feelings. There were no lingering feelings, and you can't tell me that Alfred meant that in a friendship kind of way or a platonic kind of way. That is not what you say when you're talking about friendship. Lingering feelings. Telltale, get it to your head. That did not happen in season 1.
Even so, I just wonder, perhaps she might not be the worst thing for you. She may
Make
not
up
be
your
the most
mind.
savory individual. She certainly is capable, and right now, capable is what we need.
It's getting to the... See, the thing is, I really... I'm at the point where it seems like the game doesn't get it, which is why I feel forced into picking the most obviously anti-romantic choices, just because psychologically it feels like the game, maybe this time if I choose the worst response, if I choose the worst response or the meanest response, I have to say, yes, I agree. Like stealing just stealing the suitcase was pretty cold-blooded. Totally agree with you. Part of me was fluctuating definitely between that and saying let's be friends, but it just seemed like, if I continued being lukewarm, if I continued going down the middle path versus the path of no, really, I'm not romantically interested in you, I felt that if I went with the friendship route, that would not be enough to convince the game that saying, no, we're not doing this. Stop implying that this happened last season. So yeah, it just got really frustrating that my gut started choosing the meaner options, the meaner decisions, because I'm just getting so frustrated with the fact that this game is pretending things were happening in last season when they didn't. So it really is jarring because that consistency throughout this entire episode is continually taking me out of the experience. It's taking me out of this gaming experience because it's just so jarring. And so I'm so frustrated right now, which is why I'm picking all of these horrible responses, because I'm like, game, get it into your head. This wasn't a thing last year. I definitely feel like they're pulling another Kate right now. It seems like they're not being consistent with the romance, since they most likely believe that a lot of people chose to be romantic with her, since it's in the comics and stuff. No, I totally get it. If they want, here's the thing: if they want this game to revolve around a romantic relationship between Batman and Catwoman, or Bruce and Selina, because that's the way it's established in the comics, that's fine. if they want to do that, don't make the romance optional then. Don't make it optional in season 1 and make it seem like it was not optional in season 2. You know, if that's the story they want to tell, you know, the writers, the game developers, they have every right to tell whatever story they want to tell. But if you're going to give the player a choice, if the player is going to be given a choice, and then you don't really make allowances for that choice in the second season, don't give them the choice. Just have them be romantic by default. Don't give the player a choice whether to kiss her or to not kiss her. Just let the scene play out with them kissing. Don't give the player a choice between saying you mean something to me or don't mean to something. Just have it play out as a cutscene and say this is what they did. Because if the moment you give us a choice, then if you turn around in season 2 and say, oh, I'm sorry, we're just going to pretend that your choice, that you actually made the other choice, it's very frustrating for the player, even if we were in the minority. So that's really my problem. It's okay if you really want to make these two be romantically interested in each other because it's integral to the story and that's the story that you want to tell. Don't make it a choice. Don't let the player choose that. Because if you make them choose that and you don't respect their choice in the season 2, that is disrespectful to the players. It's frustrating. I'm sorry, but this whole episode is just really frustrating. I felt the same about Gabe. My Clem would really not be into Gabe, not in my head at least, but the game tried to force it even though Javier was C-blocking everything he could. Yeah, I didn't experience that because I was pushing Gabe and Clem together, but I would have wanted that to be optional. I want that to not be a forced thing. So if the game was still forcing that in, despite Javier trying to C-block them along the way, then I don't know, that's an issue. I feel like that's an issue, and that I think is a giant criticism. I love Telltale to death. Telltale, I know you have spies watching my live streams. I know you have spies based on a lot of this stuff. But this, I think, is a major issue, I think, when it comes to trying to do a game of choice that involves the possibility of romance. Take the possibility out. Just take the choice out until you guys can do this correctly and properly. That's my opinion. As somebody who is in the minority camp, because I know I'm in the minority camp, someone who's in the minority camp who was specifically wanted to try to keep a very platonic, I like Catwoman as a friend, but it just feels like when you have that friend who just won't say no, you know, I feel violated, you know, I feel legitimately violated because seriously, no means no, right, ladies? I mean, ladies, we're always telling them, you know, no means no. If a guy comes on to you and he admits that he likes you and you tell him, I'm flattered, but I just want to be friends, and they continue to try to go after you, they continue to try to flirt with you, you know, if this was the other way around, if Bruce was female and Selina was a male, you know, double standards here, right? Most people, I think majority of people would not stand for that. If there was a female character and this male character kept trying to get with them or kept trying to imply that there was something going on with them, you know, I think the response to that, you know, society-wise in general would be very different. It just so happens that this is male, that Bruce is male, and this female is coming onto him, even though I've told her several times, you know, even bluntly, I do not need you in that way. I will never need you in that way. And she's like, oh no, you know, it's no, you know, no doesn't actually mean no. No means convince me. You know, that's what no actually means. If a guy was to say that to a girl, that would be a problem. So double standards, that's why this makes me really mad, because I feel sexually assaulted in a way. I feel violated in a way that you just, look, if you're obsessed with me that much, I'm flattered that you like me in that way, but no means no. And no should mean no whether you're a man or a woman. No means no. Sorry guys. I apologize. But it's just it bothers me. It does seem odd because in the first season, or even though you can romance her for the first few flirtings, it's like she plays hard to get, unless I'm remembering it right. I feel like that is different since we don't play as Clem, and she did have a small crush on Gabe back towards the end, even if she didn't want to admit it. Hey Hark, are you a fan of Ratchet and Clank games? I actually haven't played them. But I heard good things. It'd be awkward if there was an extra forced romance with Harley, so John would be conflicted or whatever. Yeah, you're right, it is different. Kate is a closer example, but we played Clem ourselves before and made her personality in some ways. My Clem was a cold killer. She would not have had a crush like that. Fair enough, Clementine. Agreed, Hark. The choices of Telltale don't matter as much since The Walking Dead Season 1. That's not true. They have definitely improved with choices from the most recent game. It's just their romance options seem to be messing up. Is Bruce going to #MeToo? Although, in Guardians of the Galaxy game, Star-Lord and Gamora have had a completely platonic relationship, and the choices are consistent. I will admit to that. Yes, I think they did well. They did that properly with Gamora and Peter Quill. The options kept popping up, but even though the options to flirt with Gamora continued to pop up, there was still another option that was platonic. So that is good. I would put a police strain order is a male or female kept making advances on me. Good point. Hi Hark, I also revived. Okay, Clem, don't want to give spoilers to another game if at all possible. But thank you for letting me know that. Can you imagine bringing Bruce going to the police station for that too? Then again, I guess someone like Bruce would either have bodyguards or do something himself. Yeah.
I can't help but think that we could use her help.
She's more trouble than she's worth, Alfred. Believe me. We're better off doing this without her. She's already stolen from me twice. I'd be a fool to let her into the center of our operations.
Well, perhaps you're right.
Why don't we keep our minds on Riddler's laptop?
It was just a thought.
Decryptor detected. Accessing Sanctus Project Lotus files. Retinal scan required.
Let's try this again.
Access granted.
It appears it'll take a moment to scan for viruses and other safeguards. If you have a second, I have something to show you.
Okay. Can I look at my codex? Bat computer? Okay. Gotham citizens support GCPD Batman partnership. Despite some heavy criticism from elected officials, the Gotham City Police Department's public partnership with the masked vigilante known as Batman has been a rousing success with the city's population. Across the board, crime in the Gotham City limits has been down from the previous year, with violent crimes hitting a record low. Though some of the city council have raised concerns about Batman's hidden identity and his operation outside the restrictions of the law, it doesn't appear to be hurting public opinion. I don't care who he is. I care what he makes things safer, said grocery store owner Wayne Barton, whose business has seen a 50% spike in sales after dark in recent months. Council member Gail Rich is sympathetic to business owners like Barton, but he maintains, until we know who this Batman is, I don't think we can ever truly be safe. I feel like I've read all of these. Yeah, I think I've read all of these. What is the agency? Yeah, all of these. I think, yeah. Family describes Wayne as a hero. Pino is wrong about Batman. Launches terrorist attack. Oh, I think these are new. I think. Opinion, I was wrong about Batman. It is not often I admit defeat, so print this one out and hang it on your refrigerator. Today is a banner day and it won't come around again anytime soon. That's right, I'm telling you I was wrong. About what, you ask? Batman, of course. Mind you, I'm not looking to invite the guy over for dinner anytime soon. But ever since I first heard the word Batman, I've been warning anyone who would listen that at best he's a lunatic and worst, he's a grave danger to our city. Which brings us to now. Last night I took my dog for a walk after dark. In the dark near Cobblehat Park, and guess what? The dog and I made it out alive. The thought of being mugged didn't even cross my mind, which made me realize just how safe our streets have become the past few weeks. And it made me think, maybe this Batman guy, who's been helping out the cops, isn't such a bad guy after all. Sure, I'd love to know why he's doing what he's doing, but maybe that's just the old reporter in me. For now, I think I'm happy just knowing things are getting better. Bizarre Riddler launches terrorist attack in Gotham Casino. Gotham police are on the lookout for a masked criminal known as the Riddler, after he led a brazen terrorist attack at the Virago last night. That attack was stopped by Batman, with the assistance of the GCPD, further proof of their successful partnership. The focus of the attack was reportedly Gotham's business Rumi Mori, who is currently hospitalized in what officials say is a serious but stable condition. The Riddler evaded capture and remains at large. However, GCPD Commissioner James Gordon said all available resources will be assigned to his immediate capture. However, Gordon would not comment on the reports that operatives from the agency were on the scene almost immediately. Investigation into Wayne Tower explosion continues. Authorities are still in searching for the cause of a massive explosion that ripped through the high-rise headquarters of Wayne Enterprises in downtown Gotham last Tuesday. According to multiple reports at the agency, a highly secretive governmental crime-fighting organization has also joined the investigation. The explosion, which killed Wayne Chief Technology Officer Lucius Fox and injured 14 others, is still being called an industrial accident. The involvement of the agency at this investigation raises many questions about the nature of the explosion, but both GCPD and Wayne Enterprises aren't making further comments at this time. Exclusive. Bruce Wayne spotted in Virago scuffle. Local businessman and renowned philanthropist Rumi Mori was released from Gotham General Hospital late last night after being assaulted in his upscale Gotham casino, Virago. Mori's assailant was none other than the Gotham's very own playboy Bruce Wayne, an eyewitness claims. While a spokesperson for Mori would neither confirm nor deny these claims, a Virago employee told the Gazette that Wayne and Mori met at the casino shortly before the assault is alleged to have taken place. I wouldn't be surprised if they'd come to blows, said Farid Komail, a business analyst at Gotham Brokerage. Mori's biotech company, Trigen, has been trying to overtake Wayne for almost 5 years now. Since Mori took over Trigen 4 years ago, it has attempted to outmatch Wayne Biotech in technological advancements and profits, but has yet to do so. Bad blood between the rival companies would be the cause of the rumored assault. The GCPD has yet to comment on the incident, but sources say there is no active investigation into Wayne or his associates. Agency calls Wayne Enterprise investigation resolved. An investigation into the industrial accident that killed 1 and injured 14 at Wayne Tower is no longer active, according to an agency spokesperson. Details from the GCPD investigation are not being released to the public at this time. A press conference held at the GCPD headquarters and managed by the agency only confirmed that the matter is resolved. The GCPD's investigation has proven that we already suspected, that this was nothing more than a tragic accident, said Agents Public Affairs Specialist Alexi Yu. We are satisfied with the findings of local law enforcement and have no plans to investigate further. We are working with Wayne Enterprises to minimize the risk that contributed to this accident, Yu continued. The agency and the GCPD have our full cooperation, said Wayne Enterprise Chairperson Regina Zellerbach. The safety of our employees is our primary concern. Wayne Tower is an iconic piece of the Gotham skyline, and we're doing all we can to protect it. 5 things you need to know about the agency. Wondering about the imposing G-men who have been popping up at Gotham's crime scenes? We sat down with one of their agents and gathered 5 quick facts that shed some light on these shadowy figures. Waller is at the head. Amanda Waller, former congressional aide, was promoted 6 months ago to regional director of the agency. Region, everywhere. Gotham falls under the agency's jurisdiction, as does the entire United States. Riddler's their focus. For those of you thinking that the agency presence means a crackdown on Gotham's crime, their only goal here is to track down the infamous Riddler. Armed and dangerous. Don't get in their way because the agency has been authorized to use deadly force. The nation's best. The agency is the United States' topmost covert organization and accepts only the most skilled and decorated individuals into their ranks. Citywide bombings distraction for crime spree? Gotham was rocked by bombings in the early hours of this morning. While no one was hurt, the explosions left many of Gotham's citizens rattled and suspected of an act of terrorism, especially after the recent attacks of the Riddler. New information has come to light, however, that may dispel rumors of terrorism. Captain Geoffrey Sampres of the GCPD bomb squad confirmed that the detonated bombs were designed to maximize light and sound rather than damage, saying those explosions were meant to cause panic, not hurt people, at least not directly. Additionally, at the time of the bombings, several break-ins and homicides were reported across the city at some of Gotham's most high-profile establishments. The Gotham brokerage, GothCorp Labs, and the GCPD's own arsenal have been confirmed by survivors as targets for the break-ins. While the GCPD has refused to comment directly on the suspected link between the explosions and the crime spree, they issued the following statement. The safety of Gotham citizens remains the police department's top priority, and rest assured that the GCPD is conducting a thorough investigation into both the recent thefts and this morning's bombings. Batman fails Gotham. Criminals at large with GCPD weapons. Batman was on site at the GCPD arsenal while the department's armored vehicles garage fell victim to the same crime spree that terrorized the city in the early hours of this morning, but was unable to stop the thieves from killing 2 police officers and 1 mechanic, and escaping with an unspecified number of APCs or armored personal carriers. As a survivor of the attack who wished to remain nameless, claims that the leader of the band of thugs who broke into GCPD property and fought Gotham's Caped Crusader was something more than human. I've never seen anything like it, the survivor told the Gazette. He was huge, strong as an ox too. He injected himself with something, I don't know what, and I swear he got even stronger. He threw Batman into a wall and like he was a rag doll. That's right, not even the combined forces of Gotham's police department and the Dark Knight himself could stop this giant and his gang of hooligans from taking off with deadly tanks capable of murdering countless civilians. I have been ready to accept that Batman was the savior of Gotham needed, but this act of incompetence is another reminder that we cannot put our trust in a vigilante who gets to keep his face hidden in the public while we live in the fear of dangerous criminals every day. Hey, I'd like to see you try to stop Bane. Riddler dead, agency confirms. After a deadly reign of terror that resulted in an untold number of victims, the notorious masked madman known only as the Riddler has been confirmed dead by government law enforcement group The Agency. The agency has claimed responsibility for the takedown of one of Gotham's most notorious criminals, stating only that the Riddler was found at the harbor with civilian hostages during the explosions that shook the city, adding that he and his goons were heavily armed. It is still unknown whether or not Riddler was involved in the bombings, though an inside source tells the Gazette that he is not currently being considered as a suspect, even a posthumous one, in the alleged acts of terrorism. While the agency and the GCPD have yet to confirm the circumstances which led to Riddler's death, Gotham may sleep easier tonight knowing that one less murderer is on the streets. Batman missing after fight with Mammoth Luchador. Disturbing reports have surfaced that suggest Batman, Gotham's defender, may have been mortally wounded in the early hours of this morning at the GCPD's arsenal. An eyewitness and survivor of the fatal assault in the arsenal said Batman was hurt bad. Their leader did a real number on him. I tried to get him help, but I don't know if it got there on time. Honestly, I don't know if anyone can survive concrete slab falling on them, not even Batman. Their leader is described as an enormous man with tattoos and superhuman strength, a luchador, a Mexican wrestler. Mask is confirmed by several witnesses to this morning's incursion. This still unnamed man should be considered armed and dangerous, according to the GCPD, who also urged civilians not to approach him and call the police immediately if seen. When asked if Batman was hurt or killed by this superhuman criminal, the GCPD spokesperson told the Gazette, "While the police department has partnered with Batman in the past, we do not represent him in any official capacity and can neither confirm nor deny claims that he may have been injured in this morning's assault. There has yet to be any sightings of the caped vigilante since this morning's attack." Beloved police mechanic dead in an attack on GCPD Arsenal by Connor Burton. Aw, this guy, I love that guy. I wish we were able to keep him from dying. It was confirmed this morning, just hours after the attack on the Gotham City Police Department's arsenal and the multiple reports of break-ins across the city, that one of the victims of the assault, police vehicle maintenance mechanic Charles Chip Paulson, 53, died of his injuries. Paulson, leader of his local neighborhood watch, Marine veteran and much-loved member of the community, was employed as a mechanic at the police department's arsenal, servicing the armored personnel carriers and squad cars. The arsenal was broken into in the early hours of the morning just after the explosions that erupted across the city, and during the other deadly assaults on the Gotham brokerage and GothCorp labs that resulted in the loss of dozens of lives, including Paulson's. The PD arsenal was the only affected site at which Batman was spotted. An eyewitness claims that Paulson defended Batman against the leader of assailants, but it was ultimately this man, a masked luchador or Mexican wrestler, by accounts, who ended Paulson's life. Paulson was married to Abigail Paulson, was a father of four and a foster father of 3. He was just so brave, his wife told the Gazette. He was always willing to help anyone in need. What happened to him? It's unthinkable. Chip was a good man. Former Police Commissioner Gordon said today in a press statement, "One of the best. He was a hero and a personal friend. Many lost their lives this morning, but Chip's passing strikes at the core of the GCPD. We will not rest until the people that did this are behind bars." A public memorial ceremony will be held for Paulson and the other fallen officers outside the Gotham City Police Precinct tonight. Bruce Wayne in a bar fight. Gotham billionaire and playboy Bruce Wayne was spotted today at a local bar, and the stacked deck engaged in a brawl with an as-of-yet unnamed patron. Sources confirmed that the Wayne Enterprises CEO was seen drinking with a pale, green-haired man when fight erupted. This is yet another blow to Wayne's image after his very public assault on one-time Wayne Enterprise CEO Oswald Cobblepot last year, the explosion that killed Wayne Enterprise employee Lucius Fox, and his recent implication in the assault of Virago casino owner Rumi Mori. Ugh, things are not going well for Bruce's public image. Speculations have begun that the revelation of his father, Thomas Wayne's criminal past, has taken too great a toll on the bachelor playboy, and that Wayne may be on the verge of snapping completely. Wayne Enterprise stock still holds steady despite Wayne's volatile actions of late, but analysts are keeping a close eye on the market. No charges are being filed against Wayne, according to GCPD sources, and Wayne's representatives could not be reached for the comment. Bruce Wayne on the decline? Gotham billionaire and infamous playboy Bruce Wayne is spotted today at a local watering hole and dive bar at the Stacked Deck. Patrons claim to have seen him drinking with a thin, green-haired man identified only as John. This consorting with Gotham's seedier underbelly is just another in-a-line negative publicity the young business tycoon has been garnering. After his assault on one-time Wayne Enterprise CEO Oswald Cobblepot last year, which briefly landed Wayne in Arkham Asylum, the billionaire has had to contend with an investigation into the deadly explosion at Wayne Tower, which led to the death of the head of Wayne Enterprise Research and Development, Lucius Fox, as well as recent implication in the assault of Virago's casino owner Rumi Mori. Speculation had begun that the revelation of Tom Wayne's criminal past has taken too great a toll on the bachelor playboy that he may be on the verge of snapping completely. Wayne stock still... Wait, I've already read this. Gordon demoted to deputy operations. Was that really a... Okay. That looks like a copy. But... Gordon demoted to deputy operations. In a massive fall from grace, Gotham's recently promoted Commissioner Gordon has already managed to lose his title, being demoted to deputy operations at the GCPD. In a press statement released earlier today, the GCPD informed the public, ex-Commissioner Gordon has served Gotham and her citizens to the fullest of his capabilities. His demotion is not a reflection of his character or his ability to do his job. Deputy Ops is extremely lucky to have a man of his caliber on their team. When asked why Gordon was demoted if he was so capable in his role, the police department refused to comment, stating that the details were part of an active investigation and releasing them to the public would only jeopardize current police efforts. Jim Gordon has done more for this city than anyone else on the force, Officer Rene Montoya told the Gazette. If you ask me, it's a disgrace. I owe my life to that man, and to see him treated like this, it's just wrong. Though a few names have been floated as possible candidates for the role of police commissioner, the GCPD has yet to name a replacement. Agency takes over its crime spree investigation. GCPD confirmed today that they have given the agency control of their investigation into the recent break-ins throughout the city. At least 12 people have been confirmed dead in relation to these events, including 3 police officers and 5 city employees. Confusion about and within the investigation has been a cause of concern for Gotham citizens. Residents are calling for a stronger police presence throughout the city, as well as answers about the attack themselves. So far, no suspects have been apprehended. Historically, the agency and GCPD have rarely worked in tandem. It was a joint investigation decades ago that pitted the two against the Riddler, which ultimately ended in failure. Many have called into question the organization's ability to effectively deal with the group responsible for the citywide attacks. A GCPD spokesperson told the Gazette, while the agency might be leading the investigation, Rest assured they have Gotham's PD's full cooperation. More on this story as information is made available. Agency convoy attacked. Where was Batman? An armored convoy belonging to the agency was attacked last night by the group responsible for yesterday's morning assaults across the city. The agency is reported to have been transporting unidentified cargo when it was disabled by an electromagnetic pulse which left 3 blocks of downtown Gotham without electricity. While Gotham Gas and Electric struggles to restore power, citizens are placing blame on the GCPD and on Batman. Eyewitnesses claim the GCPD raised the bat signal to alert him, but there were no reported sightings. Rumors of the masked hero's death have proliferated after Batman clashed unsuccessfully with a dangerous luchador during yesterday's attack on the GCPD army. This same figure was seen at last night's raid on the agency convoy, along with what witnesses are describing as a clown, a gymnast, and a blue man. Agency backup was late to arrive on scene and unable to prevent the terrorist group from escaping. The GCPD wouldn't comment on Batman's mysterious disappearance. In a press statement, however, they confirmed that the attacks of the Gotham brokerage house, Goth Court Labs, and the GCPD arsenal appear to be from the same group who perpetrated the attack on the convoy. They went on to say the agency is working diligently to apprehend this group of terrorists. We at the GCPD are doing everything in our power to assist their efforts. Family begs Gotham citizens for helping in finding missing couple. For 5 years, family and friends have been left to wonder what happened to Dr. Victor Fries and his wife Nora. The two have been reported missing following a deadly accident in Goth Court Labs. Before her appearance, Nora Fries was diagnosed with an advanced stage of McGregor's syndrome. McGregor's is a rare terminal illness for which there is no known treatment. Victor Fries, a cryogenicist at Goth Court Labs, was working to cryogenically preserve her. This would slow down the progression of the illness until a cure could be found. One of these experiments triggered a catastrophic explosion, resulting in the destruction of Goth Corp cryogenics wings and the deaths of several scientists. After the wreckage was cleared, there was no sign of either Victor or Nora. Family and friends have searched tirelessly, but it seems the couple must have somehow escaped the ruin. After a year's search, the trail went cold, and the police investigation was abandoned. Those who loved the couple, however, never gave up hope. Victor Fries was a devoted husband and son, whose research has saved countless lives. Nora Fries, an accomplished scientist in her own right, was an active member of her community. She served on boards of several charities for impoverished children and was a fixture of the Gotham philanthropic scene. Nora and Victor's friends and family have not given up their search as easily as the police have. "We're begging the people of Gotham to help us," said Dora Smithy, Nora's sister. "My sister desperately needs medical attention. If you see anything, please contact us. And Victor, if you're out there, please bring Nora home to us." Exclusive: Riddler murdered. A source within GCPD refutes the agency's claim that they were responsible for the death of the terrorist known as the Riddler. It was revealed, has revealed to the Gazette that Riddler was already dead when the agency arrived on the scene, and that the vigilante Batman was present at the time. This calls into question all the agency's statements in regards to this matter. Earlier, it was confirmed that the GCPD coroner of the Riddler's cause of death was poisoning. The substance was a lethal combination of psychoactive drugs injected directly into the bloodstream. The fact that Batman was on the scene before the arrival of the agency suggests he, and not the enforcement group, was responsible for Riddler's apprehension. However, some are speculating he was also responsible for his murder. The possibility of the Cape Crusader breaking his well-known moral code to put an end to the Riddler threat lies heavy in the hearts of Gotham citizens. More troubling are agency and GCPD refusals to launch an investigation into Riddler's murder. Any claims made that Riddler's death involved foul play are entirely erroneous, said Amanda Waller, director of the agency, in response to the GCPD's leaked revelation. The events aboard the Lady of Dublin occurred as the agency has previously stated. An internal affairs official of the Gotham Police Department reached out to the Gazette to say, "We are going to be conducting a thorough internal investigation to rout out the source of these unofficial leaks. These unauthorized reports go against GCPD policy, but endanger active investigations." Opinion: law enforcement playing hot potato with Gotham attackers. 24 hours have passed since yesterday's massacre. Not a single suspect has been brought into custody. Not by the GCPD, not by the agency, and certainly not by Batman. The only perpetrators identified in these attacks was a distinctive, massive man dressed as a Mexican wrestler. A source within GCPD says the suspect is known as Bane, yet both the local police and the agency have refused to go public with this information. The level of incompetence that there has been seen in Gotham until recently. Some are leery of the shadowy agency taking over the investigation into the recent acts of terrorism, citing the agency's failure to apprehend Riddler during his initial crime spree in Gotham. Their efforts, or lack thereof, in apprehending those responsible for the brokerage, arsenal, and Goth core attacks have confirmed their ineptitude. The hearts and minds of Gotham citizens are nervous. While the agency and Gotham City Police Department are busy playing hot potato with Gotham's criminal cases, the murderer of Arsenal walks free. Free to terrorize Gotham until the weapons he and his villainous associates have already used against the agency itself in an attack on one of their convoys. Batman is missing, or presumed dead, since his face-off with Bane, and law enforcement is unable to bring these terrorists to justice. It's clear to this reporter that Gotham citizens have no one to rely on but themselves. Be safe out there. That's kind of sad. Jim came through for me again and gave me much-needed information on Harley Quinn's background, which I might be able to use in my mission to infiltrate her group. I'm glad I decided to put my trust in Gordon instead of Waller. Our relationship means more to me than whatever momentary advantage of the director would offer. Over the past year... Okay, I think we already read all of that. It's clear that John is head over heels in love with Harley, and I can't quite think of anything more dangerous than that. I think I may be able to use this infatuation with her to my advantage somehow, even though I'd likely be treading dangerous ground. Alfred seemed invigorated by our conversation about Tiffany. I'm glad I could help him begin to work through the trauma he suffered. I just hope his new good mood lasts and he doesn't relapse into an even worse depression. I've decided to work with Waller, for now. Her and the agency's resources could prove to be invaluable in my mission to go undercover in Riddler's gang. But our agency is not well known for half measures, and I can't shake the feeling that I might have just signed a deal with the devil. The agency was supposed to back me up, but they didn't arrive in time. I stalled as fast as I could, but the gang ended up being successful in their heist. For an all-powerful government agency, they certainly don't seem as effective as Waller claims they are. Selina Kyle, also known as Catwoman, an infamous cat burglar of formidable skill. She and I met when we faced off on the rooftops of the mayor's office after she had broken in and stolen a data drive of incriminating information. She briefly dated my old friend and one-time mayor Harvey Dent. We had an intense friendship, while she was in Gotham at least, shortly before I took down Lady Arkham. Selina left town for good. Not so. I still miss her, even after a year of absence. I hope that when we see each other again, if we see each other again, we can still be as close as we once were. Hate to break it to you, Brucey. During the Pax raid on the convoy, I tried to stop Harley from murdering agents, but somehow ended up fighting alongside her. While she seems to be pleased with me for now, we ended up leaving Bane behind in the ensuing chaos. I'm sure he's going to have a few choice words for Harley if or when he comes back. Dr. Victor Freeze, aka Mr. Freeze, once an upstanding scientist, Freeze turned out to a life of crime in order to fund his own research into curing the disease that's killing his wife, Nora. In the meantime, Nora lives in suspended animation in a freeze chamber of his own invention. Knowing his weakness for his wife is something to keep in mind for later. I can use this to my advantage if I ever find myself in a tight spot and need Freeze's help, or need to stop him. In the midst of the heist confusion, Bane somehow ended up being left behind. No one but Bane's henchmen seemed particularly broken up about his demise, but that does nothing to assuage my fears. If Bane managed to survive the agency's deployed backup and is able to return to the Pax subway lair, he is going to be livid, with us all. However, slim the chance of his return, I should start practicing dodging blows of his massive fists. Harvey Bullock. I crossed paths with Harvey Bullock when Catwoman, John, and I were infiltrating the Riddler's old workshop. Couldn't tell if he was there to guard the spot or was in the wrong place at the wrong time. John was ready to knock him out with a crowbar, and I had to make a quick decision of how to handle the situation between injuring Bullock or corrupting him. I abandoned subway station Gotham Underground. Riddler's gang, known amongst themselves as the Pact, have established themselves a headquarters inside of an old abandoned subway station. Built at the turn of the century, the station provides little by way of amenities, but it seems to serve the Pact's needs just fine. What those needs are remain to be seen. John Doe and Harley Quinzel use the station as a permanent residence, though it's still unclear if Victor, Mr. Freeze, and Bane also call the rat-infested subway home. This lair of theirs may well be my base of operations for the duration of my undercover mission amongst their group, which I hope for all our sakes won't be long. Me too. Later, Boast. I have to go back to the dentist. Oh, I'm sorry, Conpeto Kiss. Ha! That time I was attacked by a clown and a gymnast and a blue man. We've all been there. I'm surprised Freeze let that be in the news. Me too. Alright. Let's keep going, guys. Let's see what Alfred has to say. Oh, I can still look at all of these items. Yeah, I looked at these items before already. Alfred, I want to continue on with the story. Do you have any new toys for me, Alfred?
I finished up a new feature for your contacts.
Okay.
Lucius nearly completed it before. Well, I've been fiddling with it to keep myself occupied.
Okay.
At any rate, your contacts now have the capability to detect heat signatures.
Thank you, Alfred. That's
Cold,
useful.
too, because with Mr. Freeze, you never know.
Yeah.
Thanks. I'm sure it'll come in handy.
Sure too.
It's done. Sounds like the laptop is safe.
That's good. Return to the bad computer to look at the laptop contents. What do we got
Look
here?
at all this data.
Start from the left.
Patient 843. 10 milligram injection at 0.01% solution. Patient 844. 10 milligram injection at 0.015% solution.
Is this a medical facility or a prison?
We have to find what they were giving those test subjects.
Documentation.
Voices, schematics, design notes.
The fools think they're safe. They're stupider than I thought if they think I'd ever forget what they did. If they think I'd ever forgive, I'm closing in on them now. I know who their supplier is, and that means I know where they've moved their twisted operation. They're in Gotham, hiding in plain sight. Well, not for long. E.
Riddler must have been talking about the location of the black site. His obsession with data left us an incredibly thorough paper trail.
Look, manifest.
Bodhi's Spa. Ooh.
Strange place for delivery of virus incubators. This must be what Riddler means by hiding in plain sight.
Oh my.
Oh God.
Some kind of viral agent from the looks of things. A biological weapon. This is what Harley wants.
Agency file.
My God, Bruce. We cannot let that virus fall into the hands of those maniacs.
I will stop them, Al.
How? Lucius is gone, Gordon doesn't trust us, and Selina, well, you certainly made sure she won't be coming to your aid.
We still have John.
You keep distancing yourself. You need more support than just this old soldier. We're completely isolated. How are you supposed to deal with a threat this big without allies?
You're the only ally I need. We've faced worse odds and won.
Penguin and Two-Face were formidable, Bruce. Lady Arkham was terrifying, quite frankly.
Yeah, she was.
I can't help but fear that this is much, much worse.
I have the location of the black site. I need to get in there before Riddler's gang or the police do.
Despite my reservations about her, I think it's time to reach out to Ms. Waller.
I don't think I have a choice, do I?
Bruce, to what do I owe the pleasure of this call?
The agency was working on a virus with human test subjects.
Bruce, what on earth?
I just saw it with my own eyes.
How do you... Is that what Quinn's after?
Yes, I found the black site, hiding in the middle of Gotham at the Bodhi Spa.
Okay. I promise we'll get to the bottom of this. But I need you to trust me. Meet me at Wayne Tower in 15.
As Batman or as Bruce? Well, I guess as Bruce for the time being. Yes, Enigma, I think, was the Riddler's name.
Tiffany, what are you doing here?
Running late today? I expected you earlier. I needed to talk to you, but you only have yourself to blame for this.
Hands behind your back!
On the floor, now!
Oh, great.
Now!
Why am I always getting arrested?
Bruce Wayne, you're under arrest for armed robbery, murder, and criminal conspiracy to commit a terrorist act.
Jim, let's not fight,
You have
please.
the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an
I'm
attorney.
gonna remain silent. I'm playing this smart.
Thanks for the call, Miss Fox. You've done a good thing today.
I look to you for answers, for comfort after my father's death.
And I told you
Instead,
everything.
You're running with a new crowd. Criminals? I hope you understand why I had to do this. It makes me question everything you've told me my entire life. It wasn't easy, but it had to be done.
Why didn't you just talk to me, Tiffany?
I tried. Every time I saw you, you were with those freaks.
What in the... Director Waller?
Uncuff Mr. Wayne right now, or you'll spend the rest of your life as a meter maid. Mr. Wayne is under agency protection, and you know it.
What?
You've known it for some time.
Waller and the agency? They're not always going to be around to save you, Wayne.
Oh boy.
One day, you're gonna run out of favors to call in. And when you do, there'll be hell to pay.
I'm not a criminal, Gordon.
Say it.
Officers, please.
He's involved. He belongs in a cell.
This is neither your concern or your purview. Go
Poor,
home, Gordon.
poor Jim is so
You're
confused.
done here.
The hell I will.
He's
If
so
I were you,
confused.
I'd be very careful with my next words.
And if I were you, I'd stop interfering with GCPD business. This is my city.
Not anymore.